Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today is another prediction video. Obviously this weekend, as a lot of you may know, is the EU Full Invitational. Today we're going to be predicting all of the matchups, so the main event matchups and the playoff matchups. Last time out I did the NA Full Invitational predictions, I did my own predictions, and I did the main event and I didn't do the playoffs. This time I'm just going to do the whole lot in one go. Just the whole lot. We're just doing it slightly different this time around. We are just going to get straight into it. Actually, before we start, I just want to say thank you to Atom Core for making these spreadsheets. They are just brilliant. Here's his Twitter at AtomCoreRL. I'll try and remember to link it in the description. I'll also put a link to this spreadsheet in the description as well, in case you want to fill out your own predictions and see how close you can get to the real life predictions. That's what we're going to do today. So the first match is the current #1 seed in EU, Carmine Corp against Williams Resolve, who have just, I think they played a, was it a tiebreaker series they played against Team Go, I believe, and they came out on top. So that puts them here against, obviously they are bottom seed against top seed. So Carmine Corp, I think will win this one. I think Carmine Corp do look really scary when they're putting it together. I think Williams Resolve are actually a solid little team, and I don't think they've maybe performed as well as they could have so far. Although I am going to put them to lose. I am going to give them a game against Carmine Corp. I do think they can take a game. I do think they're a decent little team. They just need a bit more belief, I think, in their game, because they are definitely talented players on Williams Resolve. Noah Saki, Breezy, and the third player is currently escaping my mind. And Flame. Sorry, Flame. I'm sure you're not watching this, but if you are, I apologise. Definitely not least on the team. Flame, a really solid player. He's been around a while, really solid player. I definitely didn't go on Liquipedia to check. I just remembered. Anyway, Quadrant, who are looking really, really good. I underrated them so far, up until their last... Well, obviously, they lost in their final to Carmine Corp in the full cup. They looked really good. Despite losing in the final, they looked really, really good, actually. Scary team. I do like Heat as well. I mean, I do think Heat are... All these teams are decent, right? Heat, full French roster. I do think they can be a dangerous team. I just think Quadrant are going to come out firing on all cylinders straight away, and they're going to look to sweep that one. Oxygen Esports against Sonics. Archie against Metza. Oxygen did not perform the way that we all thought they would. I obviously, as you may remember, had them winning the full cup. I was extremely wrong. They didn't even get top 8. A lot of people had them winning it, or at least getting to the final. They didn't even get to the top 8, didn't get to playoffs. So they really underperformed, and looked, to be honest, they looked really bad when they were underperforming. It wasn't just where the other teams are really playing really well and they were just getting unlucky. They actually just didn't look very good. They didn't look good at all. Do I think they're going to look good this time out? I think they're going to improve. I think they'll be better, because obviously in the first regional they looked brilliant, right? They won it and they looked leagues ahead of everybody else. I am going to give a game to Sonics though. I am going to give a game to Sonics. I don't think there's going to be as many sweeps here as we think, because I feel like EU at the moment is a bit of a mosh pit. I do feel like a lot of the teams that we're not expecting to perform are performing, and some teams that we are expecting to perform aren't performing. People are going to take games off each other everywhere. Teams are going to take games off each other everywhere. They might not win the series, there might not be many upsets, but there's definitely going to be a lot of games that are taken off each team. Anyway, next match is Moist Esports against Solary. Solary looking half decent. It's really good to see Fairy Peak and K-Dop still battling it out with the best teams. I would love to see him do even better. I think it would be great to have him back up there. I do think they're going to give Moist a tough game, because I feel like Moist are a bit slow out of the block sometimes. A bit hit and miss at the moment, Moist. Obviously 2 top 4s, that's respectable, right? That's really good. They're not looking the Moist that we know. I don't think they look as dangerous as they used to when they had Vatira, and I still feel like they're adapting with Astral, and Astral's adapting to them as well. Astral's a brilliant player, don't get me wrong, and he looked really good in parts of the full cup. And I think they are still a really solid team, and because of that, it's going to be another 3-1, in my opinion. Again, I feel like a lot of these teams here are going to take some games here and there, but ultimately I think Moist will come out on top. Their next match is BDS against Monkeys. BDS, another team that just aren't quite living up to the standards that we know that they can live up to. Top 8 in the full cup. Obviously they weren't too happy with that. Monkey Moon especially not too happy. I hope he's alright, and I hope he's... I mean, we know he's been grinding, because he's like 100 points in the lead in 2s, at least he was the other day, ahead of TRK. So we know he's been grinding. We know the team's grinding, and because of that, I think BDS will come back, and I think they'll look strong. I think they will be strong. They're going to sweep Monkeys. Monkeys again. All these teams are good. They're decent teams. I just don't feel like they're going to have enough to live up to the speed and the aggression of BDS. Next up is Tundra against EG. And I think last time out, Tundra took this matchup, if I remember rightly. I believe it was a 3-1 last time they played. And I think they're going to do it again. although I think this time it will go to 5. I do think Tundra are a good team, definitely a good team. So are EG. These aren't easy predictions, but yeah, I just think Tundra will come out on top. Aogiri against Team Vitality, two really, really good teams. I wasn't slating Vitality last time, but I didn't really believe in them at all. And they definitely proved me wrong. They got a top 4 in the full cup, and they looked really good doing it. And Aogiri did get top 8 like I predicted. I do believe in Aogiri. I do believe in Vitality now as well. They definitely look dangerous. And I think they will take down Aogiri. And I don't think it'll even go to 5. I think Vitality are firing on all cylinders, and I think they can keep doing that. I hope they can, because it's good to see them back up there. Next match, Team Liquid against G1. This one's so tough. This is a really tough prediction. You see, Team Liquid, it should be one of the best teams in the world, in my opinion. And they're not. They're not living up to the hype that we've all sort of given them. G1 as well. Really dangerous team, but don't know if they've quite performed as well as they could have yet. Both these teams are very similar, and that's why this matchup, honestly, this is the matchup that could quite literally go anyway. Liquid could sweep, G1 could sweep, or it could go to game 5. Either way, I really do not know. I really do not know. I believe it will go to game 5, and I do have G1 coming out on top. Liquid, I'm just really not sure about them. I want them to win. I want them to do really well. I want them to just beat everybody. I really do, because I like the players. I don't necessarily swoop Team Liquid. It would just be nice to see those young guns do really well. I think they're going to be slow at the block, so I've got G1 winning that. But it does go to game 5. Liquid, in the first round 2 low matches against Heat, I think Liquid have bounced back. Again, I do think Heat are can be a dangerous team, especially Juicy. Looks like a good little player, good addition, good replacement, but I do think Liquid will win that. So we're going to go with 3-1. EG against Monkeys. This could be quite a close match, but I am leaning towards EG. But I am going to have it going to 5. I think EG will win that, but I'm going to have it going to 5. I'm going to not try and take too long on these, because obviously we've got to do the playoff predictions as well. Aogiri against Williams Resolve. Again, a really tough matchup, but I do believe in Aogiri just a bit more than Williams at the moment. And that's why we're going to go with 3-1 to Aogiri, who look like, in my opinion, the better team. Solary and Sonics. This one's going to be a really close one as well. Okay, so it's Metza, Tho, and Mike Boy against Fairy Peak, K-Dop, and Chaussette. I'm just going to have Solary edging that one. I do think Solary have that fighting spirit in them. I don't think the players are washed. I don't think they're performing as well as they once did, but I don't think they're washed. I really don't think they're washed. And I feel like they're just going to keep getting better and better. Solary. Anyway, Quadrant up against G1. Another tough matchup, but Quadrant, in my opinion, look a little bit ahead of most of these teams here, maybe besides Carmine Corp. But because of that, I'm going to put 3-1 to Quadrant over G1. BDS against Tundra. This has the ability to be an upset. This is one of those matchups that BDS, you expect them to win, and then they just don't. This definitely has upset potential. And I think BDS are going to bounce back? Oh, this is tough. I think they are. I've got confidence in BDS to bounce back and maybe even take this whole event, but we'll see. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a proper scrap. So I'm going to have it going to 5. But I think BDS will have just the edge. Carmine Corp against Team Vitality. This one's an interesting one because I don't believe these teams have played yet. I could be completely wrong. If they did play, Vitality weren't as good as they are now. Vitality seem to have found their step. They've found the next gear, and they look more solid than they used to. KC, in my opinion, can be a little bit shaky sometimes. They definitely can concede a lot of goals. I think they're going to be full of confidence. Remember, they've already qualified for the major, so they're going to be playing with a little bit more freedom and a little bit less nerves. And because of that, I think KC will take this, and we're going to go with 3-1 for Carmine Corp. Oxygen against Moist Esports. I think Moist will win this. I don't think Oxygen are going to be as good as they were at the start. I do feel like they're going to be one of those teams that they're a bit of a yo-yo team. You know, 1 minute they're doing really well, 1 minute they look like the worst team in EU. And I just don't think they're going to have what it takes to beat Moist. Simple as that, really. I think Moist are going to be firing at this point. So we're going to go with Moist over there. Okay, round 3 low matches then. Sonics versus Heat. Some really good names down here, and good names that are going to be going out home free. I do think EU is absolutely stacked. And I think NA is more stacked than it's ever been as well. I really do feel like it has been. So the majors are going to be really interesting. I just have this feeling that Heat are going to win this. I don't rate Sonics. I want to rate Sonics, but I don't rate them. So yeah, we're going to go with Heat. Taking the win then. 5. Monkeys against the Williams Resolve. Oh, this is tough. I want to believe in Williams' resolve. I really do. I'm gonna as well. And I'm gonna lean towards him quite heavily and go with 1-3. I know Williams are bottom seed coming into this, but I feel like they're not living up to their potential yet, and I feel like this might be the start of it. This might be the start of their potential. Round 3 mid-match, Oxygen against Solary. I think Oxygen would be a bit too much for Solary here. A bit too fast, a bit too mechanical. To be honest, I think they're going to sweep. I think they're going to bounce back and sweep. They're going to have a tough match against Moist. They're going to bounce back and sweep Solary. Tundra against Aogiri. This one has potential to go in favour of Aogiri, in my opinion, but I'm not going to go that way because I do think Tundra really are a solid team, and they're becoming a very solid team as well. I think they're already pretty solid, but Cassio, in my opinion, is heavily underrated. Does a lot for any team that he's been on. Raziz, we all know, is an insanely mechanical player, and Rizex definitely has the mechanics as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tundra here, but we're gonna go with 5 because I do rate Aogiri. Team Vitality against Team Liquid. I just can't help but think Vitality are going to win this. Because I'm really not sure about Liquid. And Vitality looked really good last time I was watching them play. So we're going to go with 3-1 to Vitality there. That was definitely my first thought, and I believe Vitality will win that. G1 against EG. Gamers First against Evil Geniuses. This could be close. This definitely could be a close match. I'm going to have it going to 5, but I am going to lean towards G1. I think they'll have a little bit more about them than EG do. A bit more speed, a bit more aggression, and I think that will ultimately topple EG in that game. Round 3 higher matches. Quadrant against BDS. Wow, these are going to be tough predictions. And we got Karming Corp Moist again as well. I think I'm going to have to go slightly in favour of Quadrant here. I say slightly, I think it's going to be a 3-1 actually, now that I think about it. Quadrant just look better at the moment. They just look really good, really good. I'm really impressed with how good they are as a team already. And the matchup that we've been seeing quite a lot, actually, a bit of a rivalry, but it's all friendly banter, it's all friendly rivalry from what I've seen on Twitter between Vatira and Rise and Joyo. Do I think Moist can get their revenge like they did before? So far it's been, I think it's Karming Corp, Moist and Karming Corp. So it's 2 to Karming Corp, 1 to Moist out of the 3 games they've played. I don't think they've played any more games against each other. So this one will be the 4th one. And we're going to go with, I think Karming are going to go 3-0 because they're just going to be way more relaxed and playing for a bit of fun, I guess. But then will they be too relaxed? Will Moist come out firing? We're going to stick with my initial thought and go slightly in favour of Karming Corp over Moist. Round 4 lone matches have been generated. As you can see, Aogiri against Team Heat. I don't know why I said Team Heat, it's just Heat. Now, these are 2 teams I do rate. Like Team Axel over in NA, I think they're sort of slept on a little bit, but I do rate them. I don't think Heat are necessarily slept on. They haven't done anything crazy yet. I do think they have potential to. Aogiri definitely look like a solid team, and that's why I'm going to go slightly in favour of Aogiri. I say slightly, it's going to go to 4, not 5. 3-1 to Aogiri in series win. Team Liquid against Williams Result is the next match, and I think this is where Team Liquid start to bite back a little bit. And we're going to have them sweeping Williams, actually. Sorry, Williams. Resolve EG against Solary. This is going to be a tough prediction. I don't want Solary to go out, but I feel like EG are just a more rounded team. I like seeing Solary do well. I really do like the players on the team, and I've got them beating Sonics here. Do I think they're going to beat EG? No, I don't. But we're going to have it going to 5. Sorry, Solary. I just think EG are going to beat that one, or win that one, I should say. Moist against G1 in the higher matches over here. I think Moist can win this pretty comfortably. We'll give a game to G1, but I think Moist will take that. BDS against Vitality. Oh my god, these are so tough. 2 full French rosters battling each other out here. So many French players, so many great French players now. And forming full French teams as well, which is always a scary thing for anybody. I think BDS are going to take it. I think they're going to really fight for this one. It's going to be close, but we're going to have it slightly in favour of BDS. I'm not sure if that's the right thing or not. Again, these are all predictions. Don't get too mad in the comments about predictions, you know, you're allowed to do your own predictions as well. Oxygen against Tundra. I just have this strange feeling that Oxygen are going to struggle again, and that's why I'm going to have Tundra winning this. Okay, next matchups. Oxygen against Liquid. Oh my god, these don't get any easier, do they? I'm going to favour Oxygen here. I don't like to see Team Liquid not do well, but I just can't find the wins for them. I can't find where they're going to take wins. I don't really believe in them at the moment. Anyway, Vitality against EG in the next game. I think Vitality go and win this. And I think they win it pretty comfortably. 3-1 to Vitality. And then G1 against Aogiri. Quite interesting. Nearly 2 full Spanish rosters against each other. Aogiri with Ocelon on their team. So 5 Spanish players overall out of the 2 teams. I think I have to go in favour of G1 here. G1 have got to bounce back at some point and make top 8 and do a decent run, right? I can't have Aogiri doing top 8 twice in a row. It's possible, but I think G1 are going to take this one this time. So here's how the main event results will look. Quadrant and Carmine Corp going 3-0 on the day. Moist, Tundra, BDS all 3-1. And then Vitality, Oxygen and G1 3-2. And these are the teams I have going out. Liquid, Aogiri, EG, Solary, Williams Resolve, Heat, Sonics and Monkeys. I'm happy with that actually. So last time I didn't do the playoff predictions from my own predictions. I waited till the main event was played and then I did playoff predictions. I may do that. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to do the playoff predictions right now. We're going to do it right now. So the first match then, best of 7, Quadrant top seed against G1 who went through 8th seed. I believe Quadrant will win this. BDS against Tundra. I just had them playing against each other, didn't I? So here in the round 2 high matches, I had BDS slightly beating Tundra. And I think they can do that again. I think this time it's going to be a bit more clear cut. We're going to go with 4-2 to BDS. Yeah, I think they're going to be fighting BDS. You know, they've been grinding. Very disappointed with their last result. They need a solid result here. And I think top 4 will be solid. Will it be enough to get them through to the major though? We'll see. Carmine Corp against Oxygen. These are massive matchups. Huge. I have had Carmine Corp going through 3-0. I feel like at this point, because they know that they've already made the major, they might let their foot off the gas a little bit without realising. And Oxygen are looking to make the major, so they're going to be pushing hard at this point. And because of that, I think they're going to come out firing on all cylinders, and I think they're going to take this. I think they're going to cause a slight upset and take that win against Carmine Corp, who, like I said, have already qualified for the major. So, Moist against Vitality. This is a tough one. Toughy, toughy, toughy. I think by this point here, Moist have made the major. So, do I think they'll let their foot off the gas? No, I don't. I'm going to have them winning this 4-2 in favour of Moist. Quadrant against BDS up here. I feel like Quadrant are that kind of team that have that mentality like where even if they've made the major, which they would have at this point, they're still going to want to go and win. And they're going to want to win a grand final because obviously they lost in the grand final last time. I think this time they're going to really, obviously last time they wanted to win the grand final, right? But this time, if they're not going to let their foot off the gas. They're still going to want to win a grand final. They're still going to want to win a regional. So I am going to have them beating BDS pretty comfortably as well. Pretty comfortably. Oxygen against Moist is next up in the semis, best of 7. I think here in the round 2 high matches, I already got Moist beating Oxygen pretty comfortably. And I'm going to follow that trajectory, I feel like, and go with another Moist win, 4-2 in favour of Moist. These matches could go anyway, right? I'm trying to think a little bit what teams are going to sort of take a back foot once they know that they've qualified. I feel like Oxygen could be one of those teams that just kind of start chilling once they've qualified, once they know that they're through. That's why I'm slightly heading towards Moist to win there. And Moist are just a great team, right? Anyway, the final Quadrant against Moist. I think Quadrant just want it that bit more at the moment than most teams. And because of that, I am going to have them beating Moist, but I am going to have it going to 7. I feel like the boys over at Quadrant feel like they should have won the last regional. They haven't got to go through Carmine Corp this time to win it, and that's why I've got them winning it. So here we have the RLCS points overall, full split points. These teams here are going to the major, the teams that are lit up green. So I've got BDS going through just in 5th seed, just scraping ahead of Tundra. Oxygen 4th seed, Moist 3rd seed, Carmine Corp 2nd seed. I've actually got Quadrant going through top seed because I do believe that they were going to want to be the top seed team. Every team's going to want to be the top seed team, right? There's something about Quadrant at the moment. Carmine Corp are an amazing team, and this might be a bit harsh of me to put them going out top 8. But the reason I've done that is because Oxygen are going to be really fighting for a spot, and at this point, they wouldn't have really known whether they're in or not, depending on how the BDS Tundra game goes. So I do feel like Oxygen are just going to be really fighting to secure their place in the top 5, and that's why I've got them beating Carmine Corp. Whereas Carmine Corp sort of already know that they're going. Yeah, of course, Carmine Corp are going to want top seed, but I just feel like Oxygen are going to be fighting that bit more. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment below what your predictions are. Let me know what you disagree with, what you agree with. I don't mind. As long as it's civil, I do not mind. If you want to do these predictions, like I said, go into the description below this video. The link will be there to Atom Core's Twitter, if I remember, and the spreadsheet link will also be there as well. So check it out for yourselves, do your own predictions, and see how it turns out. Thank you so much for watching as always. I appreciate the people liking, commenting as you do. Keep doing that because it does keep me motivated and I can keep on uploading videos if you enjoy them. So yeah, thanks a lot and I will see you again very soon.